episode of Acronymic Adventures, the Guild campaign. I am your host, DM Chaos, and this is our lovely group of adventurers here. Sorry for a little bit of a late start. We were chatting about something else. And time got away from us a little bit. But this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. We appreciate all of you for being here. If you do need to catch up on past episodes, you can check out our YouTube channel, The Castles and Calamities, as well as if you want to catch up on our Tuesday campaign, which is our sister campaign run by DM Order, or in this game, he goes by Ali. You can find that over on our YouTube channel as well, or back here on Tuesdays at 6:30 Pacific. Let's see here. Who did I make do the recap last week?
I think it was Ollie.
I have it written down. It was Gwen.
All right. So I'm going to roll the dice. Gwen is not eligible to do the recap this week. Well, I mean, I guess if she really wanted to, she could, but I assume she doesn't.
I don't care.
Boudica, the dice have spoken.
We started the episode mid-battle against the Roxasha, fuck, whatever the thing is. The tiger dude's minions. Big tiger died first, falling into a pit. Pretty much got everybody killed. Saltek got turned into a giant T-Rex. Or something like that. I think it was a T-Rex. We kept two alive and questioned them, and basically they said that we can either kill them or they'll be summoned back to the dude's plane. But if we killed them, they'd be set free of their contract to us, and basically their souls were set free when we killed them. We did question them a little bit, but they didn't really seem to want to talk. New Wing left. We set up camp, waited for the Golden Suns to arrive. They didn't arrive the next day when they said they would. So we were all confused. And I had a door set up for a trap that I was thinking of. And then we kind of ended with someone knocking on it.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything they would like to add, subtract, multiply, or divide from that recap? Also, I have given your door a token.
The slaves to the Raksasha were called the Zakya, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
All right. If there is nothing else, let's go ahead and get started. So, there is a knock on the door. You all turn around and come back. Gwen, you are opening the door. You said yes?
Yes. It's my mercenaries. I will answer the door.
All right. All right. Are you pushing or pulling on the door?
I don't know whichever way the hinges look.
Roll an intelligence check. All right. You push on the door for a second and then realize it's a pull door and pull the door open. Immediately, you are pushed to the side and forced to the ground as people come rushing out of the door with pointing strange things at all of you, telling all of you to get on the ground.
What?
Who are you?
Golden Suns. I mean, I only like met them once, but like, there's no gold or sun logo.
As you say that, a barbarian looking woman walks through and says, "All of you get on the ground now. You are all under the arrest
Is that a
For-
legally distinct Karlak?
for violating the interdimensional portal treaty. You are all coming with us.
What the hell does that
We have
mean?
never violated any treaty.
Resistance and you will be shot. Speak again and you will be shot."
Slow down and talk about this.
A beam of light goes careening past your head, Celtec. She looks at you and says, "That is a warning."
That's nothing new. Please, by all means, just explain yourselves.
The next one does a 20 hit.
No.
All right,
Dang,
you get
nice, Salter.
hit with a
Does he-
strange bolt of magic that for a moment shakes your core but doesn't hurt. She looks at you and goes, "Interesting. I wonder if you're one of our medic units that got lost."
I'm doubtful, but please, I insist that you explain yourselves. And I'd like to do a persuasion check.
I'd give you guidance, but I'm pretty sure they'd shoot me.
I mean, apparently their aim sucks.
Well, I mean, that
Roll your
21
persuasion check.
would've hurt me.
Hot damn.
She looks at you and says, then looks back at the door and says, "This door is an interdimensional portal that was illegally created without the authorization of Sigil. All of you in presence are under arrest until we can figure out what has happened. You are all being taken back to Sigil. You
Well-
can come willingly or you can come by force."
What is
Slow down.
Sigil?
We've never heard of this place. We've never heard of these laws. This door was conjured from a simple common robe.
Yeah, Ollie's
If
like
you need it
glancing at
removed,
Boudica, like, what
please
did
do
you
so.
do?
We had no
Explain when we get there.
part in any laws you've passed. So by all means, if you need to remove the door, please do so. It has no meaning to us.
This reality signed a treaty with Sigil. She looks at a piece of paper several hundred years ago with one of your representatives, and she kind of looks around. She's like, "In fact, I think I was here myself when that happened. So you guys are bound by the laws of Sigil and the Singers. So you must come with us until we can get this all sorted out as to what is happening."
Wait,
Have-
so we can't
Well-
have portals, but you're gonna take us through a portal? She's like holding out her hands like to be handcuffed. She's
Yeah,
like,
you
"Let's go
seem
through
like
the
a
portal."
hypocrite to me.
Sigil is the governing body of interdimensional portals outside that connect one reality to another.
Have
Our
we ever
job is
heard
to
of
make
that?
sure that they do not connect to places where they should not, so that realities do not destroy one another.
What was the place called again? Or their company?
The
Sigil.
Singers.
Wait, what was that?
A Sigil is where they're from. They are called the Singers. You can roll a history check if you want, Boudica. You would need a nat 20 to have even heard anything about it.
Because all we know is that the guild used to ban interdimensional travel, but they didn't ever say why.
Yeah, you know interdimensional travel is bad. You don't know why.
I literally pulled a door out of a fucking robe. How was I supposed to know that there was magic-y shit on the other side?
Saltec?
Saltec. Actually, it totally makes sense that you would know about this. Because your people probably had records of the singer interaction. That you know that there are other planes like the Feywild, the elemental planes, stuff like that. There has been a theory, and there is cases saying that it is true and that has not necessarily been proven, that there are parallel realities where this is not the only prime material plane out there. There's a report that you remember reading in the library about a group of people called Singers, and that name is what sparked it in your memory, that came here one time and they were from one of these parallel realities and a place called Sigil, which from the account you read appeared to be like the central hub where all of these realities connected. So where
Gotcha.
if they were a wheel, the center spoke would be Sigil.
Yeah.
So you can translate what she's saying to mean that somehow this door you opened actually connects either to Sigil or somehow to another reality, and they're here because it triggered some sort of alarm on their side. But you
I
have
see.
heard that name, but you didn't believe it to be real. You thought it was more of a ramblings of a crazy person. Because you even remember that report claiming that crap, what's her name?
The angel, right?
Genevieve, the hero of the Second Age, didn't die. Instead, she was transported to this magical location.
I had always assumed you were a myth. Well, everyone we met, we probably should go with them. Although, if you would wish to ban any interplanar travel, then you have done a lackluster job at rounding up any items that are allowed to do such things. So I suppose I can go with you and clean up your mess.
Well, our ping report says this door was recently charged, so that's why we're trying to figure out what happened to it. It seems there was an excessive amount of magic that charged it very recently.
Well, I can only wonder where that came from. And he turns and winks to the party.
You notice Ollie looks confused because I'm not sure if Saltec has told us any of this.
I haven't. I never believed in it, so he was never interested.
Ollie's doesn't know what's going on. He has his weapon out, his shield out. He is ready to fight. Because he has yeah.
It's probably my fault. I've got a wild magic thing that just kind of sometimes does stuff, not on purpose.
Oh, you're one of those. That probably is what happened, but we need to confirm that. But either way, you guys need to go talk to the judge. I can't clear you. I'm just a captain. But I'll at least get you guys a good attorney when we get back.
And what might be your name, madam?
My name is Captain Inferno.
I see.
I thought you were going to say Insano.
No, that's an old character from our old campaign.
I guess we go with a question mark.
Well,
Ali and Gwen, from the angle you're at, you can see the door still open. There's a city through the door.
Gwen has been wanting to go through. She's not She's not been arguing at all. She's like holding out her hands for the cops. She's like, take me.
Gwen's like got her hands out, is like slowly walking towards the door. Like, I'm gonna go through. You guys, you can handcuff me or not. I'm still going through the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll follow Gwen.
Yeah, I'll follow. Dismiss
Doesn't
my
seem
packed
like we
weapon.
have a lot of choice, so I'm following.
Ollie sighs and lowers puts his weapon away, but still has his shield out and carries the rear very apprehensively and goes forward.
All right. You guys all step through the portal, and you guys are in a city street that is overwhelming for you guys to see. There is all kinds of strange things and strange creatures walking around. You are being escorted by more of these guards, and they take you through a series of back alleys. At one point, you are sure you caught a glimpse of a devil and an angel making out, and then you go around the next corner and there's a fire elemental playing chess with a mummy, and then you keep going and there's creatures that you have never seen before, and lights that don't seem to be magic, and all these people are carrying these strange looking weapons that you saw shoot light at Saltec earlier. And eventually you are taken into a building and you are told to wait, and you see this room. Looks like what you would expect a normal, like, city hall room to look like, but it is way nicer.
Is it illuminated by candles, magic, or electricity?
It's electricity, but you don't know what it is. You
Right,
look at it
yeah.
and you're like, it's those lights don't look magical. They're not candles. You're not sure what they are. There's more of the guards in the room on either side.
What was the species for the guards?
You can't tell because they're in full like suits, including helmets. You can't see their faces.
Okay.
But all of you are brought in and told to sit down and wait for the judge. Do any of you say anything while you're waiting? Ollie, you look at the craftsmanship on this, and you are baffled at how they got such fine detail into the woodwork, because it is perfectly smooth. There is not a single chisel mark or anything like that on there. You're like, this must be super advanced fabrication magic.
Yep.
It's the only thing that your mind can come up with to make this.
Yep.
Yeah. Saltek's writing down everything, drawing pictures.
Are those pews big enough for Boudica to see over?
Yeah, it's in a blown up picture, but they're like, you can see over them. They're like normal pew height, 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall.
So Boudica, she's just resting her head on it.
Yeah.
Gwen's just like, isn't this exciting? And then she's just like, slams her hand down and goes, I object. Not to anybody, not to anything, just she's just playing a courtroom drama in her head.
Inferno, Captain Inferno seems to stand at the back door. She does whisper to one of the guards, and they leave. A few minutes later, you hear a noise, and this guard goes, "All rise for the honorable judge of possibilities." And you see there's a couple other people in the room doing various things, but everybody stands up as a monk enters the room.
It was the judge of what possibilities?
The honorable judge of possibilities.
I see.
They come in and sit down and be like, "You may all be seated. Captain, what have you brought me today?" Inferno steps up and goes, "A group from a place called Heptagonia's the continent in a world called Terra Sol. Seems a door was activated there connecting them to she looks at her notes and goes, to world 161838. World currently consumed and overrun by the Icarin tree. She's like, "Thank you." She looks at, or the judge looks at all of you and goes, "And how do you all plea?"
Not guilty?
Not
Ollie, you're
guilty,
not
of course.
on the map.
Give moral support to Boudica.
Boudica's just over by herself, hiding in the corner. One thing you all do notice, they never took your weapons away or anything like that. You feel there's no magic suppression in here or anything like that.
Well, I mean, we're probably not much of a threat to them, considering we're from a primitive-ish world comparative to theirs.
Yeah, they've got more magic and more tech.
I assume you all said not guilty.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, not guilty.
I said I'm gonna need more information on the charge. We're innocent by ignorance. We had no.
You hear another voice goes, "Exactly. You can't ask my clients without telling them exactly what is going on."
Yeah, what they said.
And another person walks in and goes, "Hi guys, I'm your lawyer."
It is an honor to meet you. I'm Saltek. Glad to hear you support us in this endeavor.
I'm Lola.
She's really pretty.
Poss, come on. These guys are just adventurers. At least tell them what's going on. They are outsiders of this world. They don't need to know the full details.
Although
I
would
just
not
need to know
complain.
if they did it intentionally or not.
See, that's the part, the intentionality. Like, I'm gonna. I can't with my full heart say we didn't do it. I don't know either way. I'm also not claiming guilt, but
Grayson
we
just
definitely
puts his
didn't
hand
know we
over
were
his
doing it.
face. Oh god.
You make a perception check.
Perception check. Oops, I apparently accidentally closed my sheet.
I mean, I put the door down intentionally, but I didn't know that this would happen.
Yeah, was this your actual crossbow? That's impressive.
No, I don't know where we are.
Gwen,
mean-
you notice Lola, Possibility, and Inferno all exchange a look and a lift the corner of their lip smile shared between the three of them.
What the fuck is going on?
Lola just looks at you and goes, "Are you related to someone named Briar? Because you sound just like her."
I mean, I might have a cousin called Briar. We all, yeah, I usually like tree names.
Oh, dreams. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think you're related, but you could be. You guys could be sisters. Anyways. Okay, so why don't you tell us what happened, your side of the story? So apparently you guys put a door down. That was you, Miss Little Owlkin Lady, ma'am?
Boudica.
Boudica? Yes. My client Boudica set the door down without ill intention of creating an interdimensional portal, correct? Yes?
Correct.
Yes. Yes. What did you intend to do with said door when you set it down?
I had been intending to put my tiny hut on one side and then just open and close it when we were attacked. As
See,
like ghosty things.
genius.
Oh, thank you.
See, creative thing. Who are you going to be attacked by? She like stops mid sentence, be like, "Who was attacking you?
The Golden Sons?
Who are they? Are they like
They're trying to kill
ex-boyfriends?
Gwen.
Yeah, that's me.
Ex-boyfriends?
No,
Could be.
well, no, not boyfriend. Hired a hit out on me for being a bad goddess.
But she's not a bad goddess.
They bad. You're a goddess in your world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you crossed like, am I a goddess here too? I mean, clearly not with any worshipers or anything, but you know what I mean? Like, when you move.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because like depends on how powerful you are. You can be the god or goddess of like a specific thing in like all of the realities, but they don't always cross over. But sometimes they do. Possibility clears throat and goes, Lola. Anyways, back to the story. Yes. Anyway, so yes, they did not intend to. They just came in to create a little hole in their hut so that they could attack from it and defend themselves from Gwen's evil anti-god ex-lover person.
Never lover. No, he asked me out one time after asking out like 12 other girls, and I said no, thank you. And he, one of those guys, you know.
He sounds like a total ogre.
I think he's a troll.
Even worse, green and slimy and ugh. But yeah,
I mean, and that wasn't even the reason I said no. I mean, I'm not gonna like judge you on your look.
mean, it's okay to like
But his insides were green and slimy, and that's what counts.
exactly.
Salt like leans over to this guard and kind of whispers like, "Does court typically proceed like this?"
The guard just kind of leans over and goes, "Yeah, actually, normally does."
Hmm.
Raceland just raised one eyebrow but says nothing to that.
If nobody's been executed by now, then yeah, this is normally how it goes.
I see.
But don't make her mad. The judge is known for punching people in the balls.
I have none to speak of, but
Raceland's other
if
eyebrow
it's going to take so
rises.
long, would you be so kind as to and I just offer my hand out to see if he'll hand me his gun.
He's like, I can't release my firearm. Sorry.
A dagger, anything?
Raceland hands you a dagger.
Ah, thank you. And Saltek kind of just leans back in the chair and munches on it.
And
the
then
guy
Raceland
watched.
just like looks super pissed but doesn't say anything when he realizes that you wanted to eat it.
The guy's watching you, just fascinated.
Podoko
guard
pull
is-
out a dagger from the the rope and give it to you.
And we're across the thing, so she's like throwing a dagger across the aisle.
Oh, I catch it with telekinesis. Like as she tosses it, I like. Guide
Which
it
I'm sure
to
they
me
don't even care. That's like
They-
not
they're-
even
they're not
Tossing
even
weapons around the
attention to that.
courtroom.
Anyways. All right. So, I assume then it was you who set up a very large, I'm guessing, divine power beacon that charged the door magically for, it looks like a full 24 hours from the report.
I mean, I didn't think it was very. I mean, it was a large stone, but like we've already talked about, I don't have that much power, so.
Well, I think when you, it says here that you created a current between 2 points, and the door was the center point between the two of them. Which,
Oh yeah. I was trying to kind of like make an area, so yeah, I put a sword and a stone on either side, and the door was in the middle.
yes, so it's like when you create electrical current, if you have one on one side and one on the other, the catch in the middle gets charged and absorbs the current. It's like when you're creating a battery. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I would like to know
Oh, but
what
that's
is
fascinating.
electrical current.
Anyways, you know what a magnet is?
Would we know what a magnet is, DM?
Vaguely.
They are still when you have two stones that are kind of metallic-y and like sometimes they stick to each other.
I would say yes, you would know what magnets are in theory, but it's not something you would study because you would accidentally, you could accidentally magnetize something while you're forging it.
Gotcha. So,
Well,
yes?
whatever you're speaking of, it sounds akin to some of the applications Magicite is clearly used for on our world.
Okay, so you know how you have a magnet, if you get two magnets and you put them next to each other, you can sometimes make something float in the middle. You would know that
Yes.
basic thing. You take a piece of metal and make it float in the middle between two magnets.
With a strong enough charge, yes.
Yes. All right. That's basically what we think you did to the door. Is you took divine energy on one side, divine energy on the other side, and then they pushed into the door, and the door just absorbed all of that energy and then turned into a giant portal.
Oh man, I hate that that's illegal. This is so cool. I
So
kind of
wait.
want to do it again.
Any divine current can trigger a portal?
No, this just was a 1 in 1,000 perfect scenario of everything fell into place at the perfect time for this to have happened.
But even in a 1 in 1,000, if we replicate it 1,000 times, it will happen again.
In
But
theory,
we won't
you could,
be doing that. We
in
won't
theory,
be
you
doing
could
that.
do it again, but you wouldn't want to.
We won't be trying
Because-
to cross you like that, we promise.
Because yes, well, not just that. It's not us really. You need to worry about the place where you created the door portal to. That world is gone. There is all creatures on it are dead. There's no life on that world anymore.
I'm sorry. Take a step back. Worlds. What do you mean by that?
A similar one to ours. There is more than one prime material plane.
Yeah.
What,
I'm gonna break your brain here for a second, and if you want, after I tell you everything, me to wipe your memory, we can do that before you leave. So I'm just gonna say it, and then if you want to, when you're done, you want your memory wiped before we leave, just raise your hand. Your reality is one of an infinite number of realities that exist. Your prime is your world is like your planet is one of many planets in your solar system, in your
What
universe.
is a solar system and a planet?
So the world you live on, if you look up and you see the stars, there's other planets like that in your world.
You mean all them flashy things up in the sky?
I mean,
Yes.
solar means sun.
Yes. So yes, in just even from your, you know how you have multiple moons out there on your world. I remember from when we were there before.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Aye, they're quite the spectacle.
Yeah, so you guys had like 4 moons or 3 or 4 moons or something like that. So imagine if there was people living on all of those moons. They would be like different little mini worlds, right?
Yeah, I see.
Now, those are all different because things would happen differently there. They'd have different creatures, maybe different things would happen differently. Different events would shape how stuff happened there. In your reality, there's maybe 100 of those worlds in your reality, in your prime plane
I see.
that the big gods control over. And then you have your elemental planes, your Feywild, Shadow Realm, whatever is still exists in your world, upper planes, lower planes. Not all of them have those, but something like that. And then you take all of that, and that is one existence, one reality. And think of that as a grain of sand.
Raceland passes out. He is
On a beach. And every grain of sand is the same size as that.
I see. It's quite fascinating. My
What-
patrons have sometimes mentioned the specific things. I only assume them to be some sort of insane rambling.
You're
Is it true that they do not always function the same way?
correct. They're all different. There's crazy things in all of them. Where you're at right now is a place called Sigil. It is a point in time and space that connects all of those grains of sand together.
How do you spell it? Is it
Sigil.
Okay, that's right.
So there are 100 worlds in our reality.
As an example,
And-
I don't know for sure exactly how many are in yours. We have a record somewhere. We can go look it up and figure it out.
And there
Oh,
are
fascinating.
uncountable realities.
Correct. We document, record them, and stop worlds from colliding with each other. Some civilizations are much more advanced, where they can travel between those realities, between planets, between planes openly. Some are not. Some, like the one you connected to, are currently have wiped themselves out of life, or are being consumed, like the one you were touched or that you mentioned, by ancient magic that somebody started that is literally consuming all life in all of the multiverse.
And is Sigil the only hub? Would it not stand to reason if there are infinite worlds, there are infinite connections?
As far as we know, we are the only hub, because the ruler of this place is the one who created reality and existence.
He wakes up
Who
to that.
created all of reality?
It's better if I don't say who, because that information puts you knowing their name means you could think about them, which could draw their attention.
Would we not want a god's attention? I mean,
Yeah.
the creator of all things.
This isn't a god. This is something that would eat a god for breakfast.
Well, yeah,
Don't we have enough attention on us already, Ali? Do we really need more attention?
Well, all I'm trying to understand is if they created gods and they created the universe, then they are the creator, the one that deserves at least some respect and worship.
They are also the destroyer who, at their will, destroys realities for the slightest misstep.
I see.
Let's not get the attention of that one. You're already dealing with the Rakshasa. This guy seems like a million times scarier than the Rakshasa.
They created existence as a whole, and existence expands, but if they find something they don't like, they just remove it from the existence that they created.
It's like that cute kid from Dragon Ball Super.
Well, it seems you all have your work cut out for you.
It's like if you're growing a garden. You plant the seeds and it grows, but you pluck the weeds that get in your way. A friend named Caspian told us that.
And what of us? You've heard our side of the story.
Oh, you guys are free to go. We've already destabilized the gate and broke the connection between there. We can send you back.
Let's get going then.
May we at least visit your fine city? I have never seen anything like this. It's fascinating.
It's been so long since we've been in a nice place.
Rayson looks like he wants to scream.
The only kid that's been out in the woods for too long.
They look at you and just kind of rub their eyes and go, as long as you are okay, if the three of us escort you, you can stay for a meal and a short walk through, but you must leave after that, and we have to limit who you can interact with.
Can we buy stuff?
I suppose that's
I
agreeable.
cannot send you back with any technology that does not already exist in your world. When we were younger and dumber, we already changed the order structure of your world the first time by one of our party members teaching the goblins how to be master forgers or master weaponsmiths in your world, which apparently has caused a multi-generational war with the dwarves. Is that still going on?
Unfortunately,
somewhat, yes. The goblins are not faring so well.
So speaking of, the order of things, are there other laws that people might be breaking on our planet? Because we got like a big coup going on, but not like a normal coup, like a global coup. So like he's got to be breaking some law, right? You got to bring him in.
Global disasters related to individual worlds are not not something we interfere with anymore.
Well,
The singers,
sure, but like he has to have broken some rule.
as long as he is not connecting your world to other realities, he is not breaking any rules that we can interfere with at this time.
So
Our rules have changed since our younger days when we would interfere and try to save worlds as best we could, unless it becomes a total life annihilating event, which at this point is not, because apparently your gods have created a system where a group of heroes will save your world. Unless
where
that group of heroes
those-
dies and your world becomes an apocalypse world, we will not be sending anybody in to assist.
Where are those heroes?
Yeah.
So-
Jinx.
oh, go ahead, Gwen.
So on the not sending us back with anything not on our world, I mean, we don't need any of those little light flashlight things that those guys have. But like, could you send us to back with things that are on our world? Because we just lost all of our sets.
I was
Because
thinking the
we
same
also don't have
thing.
any money
Indeed.
to pay for it, but like,
That's not true. We have quite a bit of money. I have
But as long as
like
the currency
5
works here.
3,000 gold gems on us.
Yeah, we have. Hang
Do
on.
we have a currency exchange anywhere?
We got 22,000 or 2,200 as well gold.
Chaos is like, no.
Yeah, we've
Roll
got
a
12.
perception check or a persuasion check.
Guidance. Add that D4, Gwen.
Ollie, how much of a softie would possibility be here?
I mean, I don't know what's happened to them, but they would be amenable for as long as it's fair.
Oh, 30 persuasion. Intense.
At level
33.
5, no less.
33. Yeah, at level 5 is what's
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
damn good.
Go Gwen. Go Gwen.
I guess we did rip you from your world and bring you here.
excellent.
Let me see what we can scrounge up for you.
Cool. One more little question. When you send us back, you have to send us back right where we were. Can we go someplace
Unfortunately,
else?
I have to send you through a door. I can look and see what doors are available in your world.
Oh shoot. So we could end up anywhere.
Well, I mean, they'll know, so we could ask. Like, I was just thinking if we could get a little bit closer to where we were going, that might be nice.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Cut
You're
off-
on a
cut
roll,
off-
Gwen.
3 or 4 weeks.
Are we ever able to come back to this place?
You probably will not be able to come back here.
All we need to do is break another law.
Raceland pulls
I
his
got
hood
you,
up and
Caltech.
just like starts breathing heavily.
I think the only saving grace for us is that it was unintentional.
Yeah, exactly. I do unintentional shit all the time.
Yeah, Saltek raises his half-eaten dagger and he's like, 1 in 1,000 over 1,000 years.
Anything could happen. Actually, that door wasn't done from like a surge. I am feeling a little itchy, guys.
Oh gosh. Gwen, contain yourself. We're about to get cool items and go home.
As you say that, Gwen, roll a check.
Oh, God.
No,
I gotta go back
Gwen.
up. What was I at? I was at 5. So. no, we're still feeling itchy.
Gwen's getting shaky. You guys can see the little spark starting to come off of Gwen.
Grayson's just shaking his head and pacing, scratching his head a little bit more now. Kind of ticks are kind of showing up.
Well, off we go then. Let's explore.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many opportunities are we gonna get like this?
After you, our lovely chaperone.
I'm looking at something.
But I got to hand it to you. There was some pretty good persuasion there, Gwen. Good ideas all around.
Yeah.
Very well
Yeah.
done.
You could at least use a bag of holding.
And thank you so much for not exploding right there and causing something that would probably not let us go home. Because I do want to go home, you know?
I mean, I appreciate your thanks, but also, it wasn't choice or not choice.
Well, I know, but I guess I'm thinking the fates.
Oh, I wonder who the fates are here.
I don't wonder anything about this crazy world. Everything's too bright. There's too many noises. Everyone's crazy. I just want to go home.
You
But
say
maybe
that, Gwen, and Lola goes, "Oh, the Fates. They used to be in charge here after they sealed the boss lady away, and but we defeated them, and so they're not in charge anymore.
Defeated fate itself.
well, there you have it.
All three of
By
them.
the gods.
All three
Defeated
fates.
fates and everything.
You see, we only have two fates where we
He's
come from.
hyperventilating now.
What a story.
Ollie comfortably pats Raceland's back.
Thank you, Ali.
He's having full-blown fucking
He
panic
rolled a
attack.
9 on his wisdom save. Ollie rolled a 29, so Raceland rolled an 8 on his wisdom save. So,
All right.
And the two weird magical characters are like, this is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I didn't roll a wisdom save because Gwen is down with this. Gwen,
Yeah, Gwen would be down.
nothing makes this weird. This makes perfect sense to her. Everything they have said.
This is like your perfect spring break.
All right. They go, and I don't have maps for this, so we're going to kind of time soup through this a little bit. They walk you through the town. You guys see all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, look at that crazy thing over there.
They do take you to a magic tailor store, and they tell you you can pick out one thing in here to take with you.
One thing for the whole of us?
Each.
Ooh, what do they have?
He's figuring that out.
Yeah. You see there's boots of elven kind. Boots of striding and springing. Cloak of protection. Cloak of the mantle ray. Cloak of elven kind. Gloves of missile snaring. Gloves of swimming and climbing. Gloves of thievery.
Ooh.
Thievery, you say?
Hat of disguise.
Boom. Taking those.
Nature's mantle.
Dude, gloves of thievery are like up your alley then.
Oh yeah, fucking pair that with my feet that allows me to steal from somebody that attacks me?
It
Hell
gives you
yeah!
Oh,
+5
that's
to sleight
crazy.
of hand. So
Yeah, so my opportunistic thief is when a creature fails a melee attack roll against me in combat, I can make a sleight of hand against their DC plus their dex mod, and on a success, I can steal any item that's not being worn or held.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what?
So
Yeah,
gloves of
That's
thievery are like
crazy.
the answer.
outside of combat, whenever you use your sleight of hand skill to steal an object, you can conceal it flawlessly without or I can put something in the place. Like it's fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool.
There's a robe of serpents. Slippers of spider climb.
Slippers of spider climb. Oh man, I almost was sold on something.
Winged boots. And a dress with pockets.
Cloak of protection would be pretty awesome for me.
Bring your AC up to like 60.
Only 22, which is good
Only
for
22.
level 5.
I mean, you are our tank, though. Let's be real.
I think I have to take the slippers of spider climbing.
Not the nature's mantle.
I was thinking, what's the nature's mantle? I don't even know what that is.
Or wait,
Oh, let me
you're not.
look at that.
Are you a rogue or are you not a rogue?
I'm a rogue.
Or I mean a ranger.
I'm a rogue. I'm a rogue that identifies as a ranger. I'm a scout. Is my subclass, so I'm the ranger version of a rogue.
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
he's all the things, okay?
I think the nature's mantle is ranger, and I always think you're a ranger, but it's a hiding thing.
I'm not actually a ranger. I just wish I was a ranger, I guess, deep down.
But I guess as a rogue, you can already hide as a bonus action.
Well, I already have advantage on my stealth with the Cloak of Elvenkind. I thought of doing the Boots of Elvenkind because then I wouldn't make sound while stepping, which is creepy, and I like that. It's helpful. But he spends his whole time thinking about walking quietly, so I don't think he really needs help with it.
And how
Spiders
much?
of... What was that?
So how much does everything cost, DM?
They are paying for it.
Oh,
well, look at them.
They can't come in and help our cause, but they can.
Hey, you were the one
They
who did
assist
this.
them by helping the heroes.
Right. They can
the
take you guys on a shopping spree, but they are mini shopping spree, but they can't actually help.
so you're willing to pay for any magic item as long as it would be contemporary with our world?
From this store, yes.
Oh, I see. Perhaps I was getting a bit too excited.
We have to limit it within reason.
I don't think they're giving us
Understandable,
like
I suppose.
a legendary magic item. I don't know how rich they are. Maybe they're rich.
Currently racing is
Well.
attuning, but once the slippers are attuned, just know DM that he's walking on walls for the rest of the day.
A man could dream.
DM, quick, was cloak of protection on the list or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Basically, any of the uncommon worn items. So put down in the chat what you guys are getting in the Discord chat so I can keep track later.
Do I want pockets to put my stones in, or a robe of serpents so I can just randomly throw snakes around?
I was like, that one sounded like something you would like.
Chaotic choice you could ever decide on.
I love it. I'm down for this. Do it.
Boom! It's a snake.
What's that? Pocket
This is so
snake.
crazy. Yeah. Persuasion pocket snake.
My wife's probably over here like, what the fuck?
The only sad part is there's only three. Well, no, 1d4 plus 3 snakes, but they disappear when you use them. They're not like,
Oh, it's
Oh,
single use.
forever.
yeah,
I don't know
Wow.
if Gwen could handle the parting of the snakes.
yeah, because they only last for an hour. Like if they were like infinite snakes,
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
then she'd
I'm
just be.
glad that's
Yeah.
not how it is.
No, I don't mean like infinite snakes. Like I could rip like 16 snakes off at the same time, but I just meant like if I ripped a snake off and then it went back after the hour was done, and like I could just always be like surprise snake. Then I'd be like,
Yeah,
yes.
I get you.
Yeah. You probably like the robe of pockets or something.
Yeah, I guess I'll get the dress with pocket.
What does that one
Er,
do?
It's just a bag of holding. At
Well,
least the uncommon one is. The
it's like a
rare one
dress.
also gives you armor, but the uncommon one is just mostly a bag of holding. Except
So
they're in my
Gwen is actually clothed now with a dress.
Gwen is always clothed.
No, I mean with a dress. Like usually you mention like she has her like thistles and her like yeah, she's not naked, but she's walking around with like minimum clothing, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna find a picture of the dress she's wearing. It's not better.
It's not bad.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
All right, did you guys all post in Discord what you're getting?
Oh.
Well, thank you, DM. That was a nice gift.
Yeah. And thank you, Gwen, for rolling so high.
Yeah, right. The 30 didn't hurt at all.
Now you guys are a little less squishy and a little more clothed. As you guys have lunch with them, they do enjoy listening to your stories. They tell you about some of their crazy adventures, and they even tell you about the adventures of when they went to your world, and the trials they went through there.
We went through similar trials ourselves.
And they do tell you that Genevieve is alive.
I see. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
And I'd always assumed that these were the ramblings of a madman.
And they do mention that there is a cave in the Northlands that, if you find it, that they did hide away some goodies back then that you can, if they're still there, you guys should go find them.
Ooh. I will certainly keep an eye out.
Are we able to get like an exact location or just in the north?
Yeah, it was like coordinates.
They didn't know
please?
exactly where they were. They just were only there shortly, so they just knew they were up in the mountains in the north.
Okay.
Are we still? Or sorry, never mind. So have we had lunch yet, or he said we're doing lunch and we're doing shopping and then we're going back, right?
Yeah.
Do they eat normal food here, or is it gonna be like weird food that Raislin's gonna be sad about?
They take you to something called the Four Elements Cafe, and you are very confused. Or sorry, the Four Seasons Cafe. It is run by what you look at are
Does it look like Vivaldi?
no, they are elves, but they all seem to be kind of look like Gwen. But they're all in different seasons, and they are like full season elves.
But they're elves. Interesting.
They're, for clarification, they're a Lodron.
Okay.
But there's four chefs there. There's a winter Eladrin, a summer Eladrin, a spring Eladrin, and a fall Eladrin. And they all cook different dishes. So when you sit down, you get a course from each of the four seasons.
Interesting. Cool. Does it taste good or is it just confusing?
It's actually the spring and summer ones you really enjoy. The fall one is interesting, but it's not bad. The winter one is a totally different mix of foods because everything is cold, but you don't hate it.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I'd eat it again if I somehow got trapped to some weird interdimensional planar reality combat like we are. I'd eat it again. And I would be okay with it.
This place, these singers, they all seem like a rather interesting group.
Aye, so long as they aren't trying to kill you. I have a feeling if they want to kill you, you just die.
Hey, DM,
Indeed.
is there a way Ollie can make either like a sciencey check or Mason check as he's like looking at the architecture and studying it?
Roll a. We'll let you make a Mason's Tools check.
Okay.
Gwen and Ollie are both like out to get us arrested for the rest of our lives.
It's not. I'm just studying. I'm not taking anything. It's 23.
Yeah,
So,
till
guidance.
you build it in our reality and they come for us.
If you build it, they will come.
27.
Exactly, they will definitely come.
When you're looking at this everything here, it's so advanced. At one point you're in the restaurant, you're up against the wall, and you rub your hand across the stone, and it's smooth, but when you're looking at it, it's not. It's stone, but it's not like a rock. You're staring at it. You're like tapping it. You're trying to figure out what it is. And Inferno just leans over to you and just goes, concrete.
Ah, I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
Yeah, most of the buildings here are made of brick or concrete, or both.
Okay, okay.
And you notice looking up, like you've seen concrete used a little bit, but not like concrete's super expensive in Heptagonia.
Yeah.
It's something you would use like.
Well, it depends on what type, because I know like the Romans and the Greeks use concrete. Like concrete's been around since like
Right.
7000 BC.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
Stone Age thing.
Right, but like this type of concrete that they have, like
Yeah.
to make a whole wall out of concrete that's so smooth like that, like to you to look at that would be something that would cost, in your mind, you can't even fathom how much it would cost or how one would make concrete that would set that smoothly.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's hard without the toys.
Like
We
I
don't
think
have
the
the
most
toys.
advanced, if we're using Age of Antiquity, is like Roman concrete, which is just made out of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater.
Right.
How do you know that?
Google.
The Wizard of.
He's a
Never
smart
I
boy.
knew
Just
I knew
gotta
the
be a
Romans
history nerd.
used concrete, but like the exact composition, I just Googled.
You just Googled it. Gotcha.
But yeah, I knew. I mean, Roman concrete. That's why, like during the medieval age, they say, "Oh, we lost a lot of technologies because they literally forgot how to do concrete."
Interesting.
You know why they
Yeah.
forgot how to do concrete?
Because they burned a lot of the
Burned
Roman
all the
records
books
because
and
they
burned
hate
all
them.
the scholars.
It was no longer a concrete idea.
Ah.
Actually, it was because they were using fresh water.
Yeah,
Because in the recipes that they did have, it just said water. Where to us, when we were trying to replicate them, to us, water meant fresh water. But to Romans, water meant using seawater, and if you wanted fresh water, you would say fresh water.
Yep.
Where for us, over time, the language had changed to where you would say water meant fresh water, and if you wanted to use salt water, seawater, you would specify that. Where in Roman language, it was reversed. So it was actually some scientist kid who said, "Did you ever try using seawater?" That had them try it and figure out how to replicate the Roman concrete.
Good old salt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it waterproof, is the salt.
So yeah, Ollie is amazed and studying a lot of the architecture, like looking at how vaulted the ceilings are and like all the different designs, and just sequestering that in the back of his head.
Yeah, Saltek's drawing a lot of pictures. He's not necessarily taking in like how it was made, but like just how this culture is different from his. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, Ollie and Saltek are gonna just have a lot of like, hey, how do we do this later on?
You made the mistake of showing the two of us how to do this. We're gonna figure out fucking gunpowder in
the
my
memory.
week.
I have the know-how.
Oh
We'll
god.
do this.
Suddenly we have M16s in the chat.
No,
Yeah,
we're just talking about architecture alone.
a genius craftsman
Uh-huh.
and then a genius who could be his like test dummy. Guinea pig.
Do they ever mention or let me ask, are there any steel skyscrapers in Sigil that we see?
No.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no. Got it.
Yes, but you wouldn't recognize that's what they were because Sigil is shaped like a donut.
Yep.
And the curve doesn't reveal how tall something is like that.
Gotcha.
And they would have a stone facade on the outside.
At one point, Saltek takes out his mithril ingot. Do you have any material similar as this? This is considered state of the art for us.
Inferno takes it and goes, "Oh yeah, mithril."
Fascinating. Well, perhaps one day we could achieve such things.
Oh yeah, and you guys will find the good stuff later too.
Oh,
The
yes.
good stuff, you say.
Oh,
What
yeah.
makes it good versus not good?
Well, I mean, there's other metals that are even stronger. You notice her axe is that bright green color.
Is it the same as like the armor or that all the security guards have?
That you look at it and Saltek, it looks like stone, but at some point when she's not paying attention, you poke it and you realize it is some type of metal that you have no idea what it is.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Yes, well, back in our world, we've heard of adamantium. There is some sort of golem we're supposed to defeat one day, but I don't believe anyone understands the secret to what the metal does or how to make it. Fascinating technology.
Well, thanks for the grub and not killing us, giving us items. I think it might be time to go home. What say y'all?
I would agree with that. As much as I would love to study and understand this. We do have our quest, and then Ollie will kind of glance at Raceland, who I'm sure, like, has Raceland been like itching to get back and just overwhelmed this whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. for our friends' mental health, I think we should head back.
All right. Possibility pulls up a map of your world that you have not seen before. Like this. It's in color. Looks just like this.
Is Saltek fervently drawing it?
You guys have seen like a map of the world, but you've never seen a color one like this.
Okay.
This is like you guys have seen like, you know, normal paper drawn maps before, but like this is a full color map. Like,
yeah, like he only have one pen for his Book of Shadows anyway, I think.
Right.
Or could I summon it as a colored pen? I don't even know how that works.
You have to summon a lot of pens to make it look like that, buddy.
Right.
Or he's got one of those ones like he had in like junior high that has like all the colors.
Oh,
of the
I
copies,
totally
like,
remember
But
that
it's got
shit.
like
We
100
just
buttons.
aged ourselves.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
like
one that had
20
like
of them.
20 of them at like 20 different
shit.
colors up there. They made ones that were pretty big.
Yeah,
That's
for
crazy.
sure. It was like 20 colors.
But yes,
Sorry.
we are trying to reach the resistance, which is in this corner. So if there are any doors in this locality, we would greatly appreciate it.
One of these things.
I thought they were going by Mara, which I thought was down here.
Yeah,
Mara is up
Yeah,
north.
Mara's a lot.
Mara's right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say Ollie is pointing where it is supposed to be, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, DM, it is supposed to be like right next to the desert area, like on that border. Like on
Yeah, it's like right here in there somewhere.
Great.
All right. She looks and she's like, all right, I'm gonna. Where's my little pen button feature? All right. She's like, I got 4 options for you. She's like, I have the one up here, which is near that cave where we were talking about.
Where is it? I don't see the ping.
Very far north. I'm drawing on the map, so it's not a ping.
Oh,
This
I
will
see
add-
Oh,
it.
okay,
I
gotcha,
see
gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah. Up
She's-
where Ryder Darkstone lives.
She's like, I have one that's inside this pyramid thing. She's like,
Would I know what that is?
yeah, you would know that that is a pyramid that's sealed. So you have no idea what's in there.
Ooh, I vote we go there.
She's like, I have one on an island that's like right here. In an old library. And she said, I can also put you back where you were. She's like, or she's like, I can put you through the front gate of this big castle here.
Ultimately, we
which
do want to
castle?
go there, but probably not until we've gotten some help.
The sealed
Where's our
pyramid.
help at?
The
Is it-
help is down, yeah, in like this
Lola's like, oh,
area.
what about that other one? She's like, oh yeah, there's also one up here.
Where's that one? Oh, way up
In-
there.
Yeah, in the
I've been
mountains or-
curious about that, but I don't think it's like the most efficient decision right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like where we came
Oh, I
from
am
and the
intrigued.
pyramid are kind of equidistant to where we're going.
In that case, I think the pyramid.
Unless we
could
do
be
want to
an
go
Interesting detour.
into
Or
the
we
heart
could-
of the.
We could die if we're trapped in the pyramid. It's never been opened.
Well, are we
sure if
getting
we find-
transported in the pyramid or outside
Delved
of the
into
pyramid?
plenty of ruins.
I'm gonna possibilities. I'm gonna point out a couple things based on what you guys said that may be helpful. This one is in one of those you called lost libraries.
Oh shit.
Also
Oh.
quite tempting. Ooh.
This
Oh.
one, I'm not sure what's in there, but it's an ancient pyramid. There's probably cool stuff in there.
Decisions,
tempting.
decisions.
This one is some magic little happy village full of weird happy people.
Well, that's not very
I mean, that one's close to my
Boring.
home-ish.
You guys wouldn't meta-wise. This is the Christmas village.
The North Pole, yeah.
She looks at you, Raceland. She says, "This one would put you very close to where your missing girlfriend is."
Oh.
And this one obviously is very close to where the academy was.
I'm kind of stuck between the island because library and up north because Jen.
And then obviously we can put you back right where we found you.
Lost
Now,
library.
why would we
though.
want that when people are
Lost
trying to kill us?
library,
I mean, the library might not be a bad idea. I mean, the other one kind of moved, so maybe this one moves too. Just because it's there now, maybe we could ask it to be closer.
The keeper of the lost library could potentially help us get somewhere quicker.
And if we found a useful spell book or two, be helpful.
So at this moment, if we're all in agreement, we don't want to go back to where we were because that doesn't give us anything. We don't
Indeed.
want to go to the castle because although we may be able to scout, we're not ready for a potential conflict or confrontation with disorder. Magic Happy Village full of weird happy people.
Weird.
Definitely, probably not wanting us all to go there for it. So I think it's a question of the Lost Library, the Pyramid, or the mountains up in the north. Are we all agreeing that those are the top three choices?
I agree.
So when you say you found me girlfriend Jen, is she with everyone else? From her science project that she was doing for 3 years, that turned into many years after that.
I can't give you any details. I just know that if you were going looking for her, this would get you as close to her as you could get now.
We might be able to
I-
find additional people to help us.
This is true. I believe that's the Nadarin Valley, but
Are we? Do we think we're prepared for that? I mean, I'm willing to
Didn't-
do it,
didn't-
but if they, who are more powerful than us, got trapped, are we ready to deal with it?
most likely not. In DM, didn't you say that that was where? Because Borthamon said he was there, right? And he said that they were gone. That was just where they were last seen.
Yes, he said that he went and looked, or a group of them went and looked up there, and they found evidence of where they were supposed to be, but they never made it from between two checkpoints.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm kind of pushing towards the library if we're thinking Jen's either dead or inaccessible.
Well, if you're content with that decision, I know this is a loved one, so if you're content with that decision, I appreciate going to the Lost Library.
I
And
don't
of course,
know.
the pyramid as well, but it sounds like the rest of you are not so keen on that idea.
I would be down for either. So I'm gonna roll a d10, and if it's even, I say library. Odd. Yeah. Library it is.
Is that Butterface
It's
choice
a
as well?
very
Second
library.
Lost Library.
Well, I feel bad for Jen, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't seem realistic that she's around.
I mean,
I feel like your girl could take care of herself.
if she's made it,
Realistically.
if she's
I
made it
feel
these
like
10
she's
years,
so long past my girl at this point.
like if
Yeah.
she's
We were
made it
gonna
to
do
this
a long
point, you're
distance
good.
relationship. She moved out. It became hard to contact her, and then I got time skipped a decade.
Here's what you do: you just write a letter and give it to a carrier pigeon and pray.
It'd be like, this won't reach you, but if it does, I will feel better about it.
Just know that I still love you.
I don't know if he does. She's old to him now. Like he hasn't had a 10-year time skip like she has. She's been living a hard
She
life.
was way older than you to begin with.
And she was like 10 years older than me to begin with. She's like 40 now. And I'm
So now
like,
she's like old.
well, not
And, like-
old. That's like calling me in real life old. Hurts my feelings. Not
That's
really.
like assuming we could even keep up with whatever's up there that made them go missing, because it was
Yeah,
Jen
that's what
who
Ollie's
was
worried
like,
about.
wasn't she like
Yeah.
silver class and she was with like a bunch of Celtics like silver
She
or
she
gold
was
class
like well, I thought it
family?
was like B rank or whatever.
She was level 15.
She was level 15. She
Yeah,
was
it's like a
strong.
bunch of high level wizards and her and who else?
She was like
whoever else.
hiding
I think there
her
was like
her skill and strength when she was helping out in the beginning.
pretty sure there's a guild master up there even.
Yeah, let's just go to
So
the library.
we're not gonna make it.
We're gonna learn some stuff, and we're gonna pick a couple really good books. It's gonna be a really good time, guys.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
did
we
get
are.
to read my other one on the Rakshasas. So I don't know. Hopefully, Micah has it. Maybe.
When I
I
read
know
this wonderful thing, it was something called the Scabrous Syllabus of Tammuz, and I've only got a third of it. Maybe I'll find another piece of it. I look hard enough.
I had one of the copies as well, and I have it transcribed.
So it sounds to me that our hearts
have it
may be
described.
set on the library then.
Sounds like
Indeed.
you have
Or the
one
pyramid.
of the tree Scabrous Syllabus of Tammuz yourself, you're saying. Could I happen to have a copy of that?
If you can give me time to write the book, of course.
I'll absolutely give you time to write the book.
It was the secret I uncovered blood magic through.
That's amazing. I'd love to have it.
Sadly, I never got to use my demon summoning book, but perhaps I can find something else of equal value.
Is anybody opposed to the library?
Gwen, where do you think we should go?
I'm going for anywhere.
Well, which one's your
Gwen's
preference?
down to party at any time, anywhere.
Glenn is like, I just don't want to go back where we were because we were already there.
But if you had to choose between the two, the pyramids or the library, which would you pick?
Either one will be exciting, and they're not, well, maybe not equidistant, but they probably travel-wise are equidistant from where we're going.
I understand that, but I'm asking
Leave it
which
up to chance.
one
Roll
do
a
you
dice.
want?
Gwen's like a Taoist master. As long as
And
it's
Gwen
in the
and
moment,
Dolly
it's
is
all
like
good.
pushing it. He's like, which one? Pick one.
Why do I
The
have to pick one?
Virgo over
Well, I'm
here.
asking which one do you prefer?
And I've given
Both.
you plenty of reasons why both of them are good.
Do you ever make a decision on when you have two options?
I mean, if it was we're going where Gwen says, then yeah, I would make a decision. But we're not going where Gwen says, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, it's better that I am good with wherever we go.
Ollie sighs.
It's best not to argue, brother.
Perhaps you could flip a coin, Gwyn. Maybe that would satisfy him.
I mean, if he just wants to flip a coin, he can flip a coin and decide what it is I said.
He is
That's pretty
fixated on
savage.
you committing to a decision.
She's
Again,
non-committal committed.
it doesn't matter. I would go to the Christmas village. I don't know. That also sounds delightful.
I mean, I feel like that's somewhere where we should just retire to, because that does sound delightful.
I am also split between the pyramid and the library, but there are 2 votes for the library already, so I suppose it wins by majority.
We could always go to the library or to the pyramid later after we take care of everything.
Yes, but
I mean, my preference.
you didn't grow up in the desert. You don't know the old saying, the sands swallow all.
Well, Soltek, I, I, I don't like the islands. I've had a lot of negative experiences with the islands, so my preference would be the pyramids, unless, since it's your homeland, you understand and know it better than any of us. If you think it's
Yes.
best to go there, then I'll change my vote. But my vote would be the pyramid over the library, just
And I
because it's
believe it's the
located
only
in the
region
islands.
we've never gone to as a team, have we?
Indeed.
Well, besides the marsh.
But I'm also speaking out of hurt. The last 2 times I've been on the islands, bad things happen.
The
I mean-
pyramids or the lost library?
I mean, a library just has, books and stuff.
But I'm concerned about when
It
we
had a
leave
bit
the
more than books
library,
last time.
we have to deal with the islands.
But also, if we go, I mean,
But I
now that we
mean,
know the library
pyramid.
exists and it's there, we'll never be able to find it.
That is true. Is it one of those where if we go there and because we know it's there, we can't enter it? Ollie looks at possibility.
I already know it's there now.
Oh no, this door would open inside the library. You would be inside.
Suppose I must let chance decide for me. Library it is.
We have a majority then. Library it is.
Ollie sounds so disappointed.
He does.
It's the islands. It's not the library. Ollie loves libraries. It's the islands.
The islands are where he lost like 2 crews and started all the shit.
Exactly. We nearly drowned to death and lost our entire ship the first time we went with Mornica. And then I got betrayed and had the whole incident with the orca kin.
Also, the last time Ollie went to an ancient library, he got killed.
That's also true.
Unconscious.
Yeah, me and him both did.
Unconscious, not killed. But yes, I was critted.
Tougher now.
Stronger than yesterday.
Brittany, bitch.
All right. So that is your decision. We are going to the library.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's take a break so I can go figure out what's in the library. And we'll go from there.
All right.
All right.
Let's come back in about 15 minutes.
15
Cool.
minutes it is.
All right. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. So, you all say your goodbyes and step through a door. And you enter a room that looks like this.
Ooh, nice.
All right, we made it. I'm a little sad to see Sigil go, but at least we're now in a realm where things make slightly more sense.
I know, such a fascinating place.
Everything made sense there.
Ollie will look around. Do we see anything other than books in our immediate vicinity?
You do. I'm waiting for the image to load. You turn around and sitting on a chair, you see a figure.
Zoltek, your new best friend.
Is he alive or is he dead?
He's
In the
not
nod.
moving.
And
Is
hello?
he smoking?
That's dust.
Oh.
or like a mist,
kidding.
like fog, whatever.
Sir? Sir? Hello?
Does anybody speak in bones?
Ollie will
This is
approach him
Zoltek.
cautiously and kind of like wave his hand in front of the face, just like to see if there's any like movement or recognition. And then he'll tap him on the shoulder. Excuse me?
Sir?
You hear another voice go, "Don't you know it's not polite to wake the dead?"
Uh, Forgive us, we thought we were being rude by not presenting ourselves. So when a person enters a house and someone else is asleep, sometimes it's rude to go about and not wake them up. I don't know the rules here. I apologize.
Hi.
Hello?
My good sir, this is a library. You should be quiet and keep your voice down and not disturb other patients.
Forgive me.
Yeah, Ollie.
Ollie
Yep.
glances and glares at Gwen.
You have to forgive him. He is always the troublemaker of the group.
I can imagine. He nods and then looks down at his book, then glances back up at you and he's like, "You are free to explore. Just don't damage any of my books and don't take anything out of my library."
If we may, are we allowed to know your name, good sir?
I am Captain Biblion.
Captain Biblion. Thank you
Love it.
for accepting us into your grand library.
Yes. Now keep it down. You hear him. Roll a perception check, Holly. Okay.
I
12.
didn't realize I've been muted the whole time. I didn't realize I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything from you, Saltek.
Shit,
I just thought maybe you didn't come back from break yet.
I was trying to talk to him the whole time, and I was like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Why is no one letting me talk?
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was basically saying a lot of the same stuff Ollie did, but I asked him if he's going to use the corpse.
He looks at you and says, "I'm not," but he's still using it.
Oh, I assumed it was yours due to the apparel. I apologize.
As you say that, you see a light move back over and come out of one of the books and hit the corpse, and the corpse starts to move. It closes the book it's holding and puts it away and goes and grabs another book.
I see. Well, then I shall leave this one to their study.
Someday that'll be you, Saltek. Just moving your consciousness from book to book.
That would be fascinating. Perhaps one day.
Saltek's like, "I just found my endgame wish."
Yeah, that's why he left the library, though. He wouldn't want to do that all the time.
Anybody else who wants to can roll a perception check to see what Ollie did not catch.
Not me. I'll use session inspiration. What the hell? And I'll go fuck myself.
Raceland, you just barely hear it. When you hear it. He mumbles under his breath as he settles back in to read. Stupid academy students. I have to open my doors to them every couple of years. I spend one night with a cute girl all those centuries ago, and now she sends me her students to go wander through here and look at her books.
Oh, gossip. Did you hear that, Boudica?
No. What?
Oh, yeah, no, he had an affair with one of the teachers.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I don't know which one though. Maybe the librarian. Pinky?
Oh my god. It was totally the librarian. You
Which
know
one was the librarian? Yeah. Who's that? Which one was the librarian?
Agatha.
Yeah, I can say Agatha, yeah.
Do you say her name loud enough for him to hear? And I'll kind of like look over a little bit.
I mean, it's Gwen. She probably.
Does he react at all when she says that name?
He humps. He goes, and
Yep.
kind of turns away from you guys.
It was her.
I wonder if that means, but we don't know if she's alive or not.
You know she sealed herself in the library.
Oh, right, okay. But I bet you haven't gotten any academy students recently. What with it being destroyed and all.
He kind of pauses and then closes his book after putting a mark in the page. What do you mean the academy was destroyed?
Yeah, about that.
Well,
Have you been outside of here ever?
Ever.
I
Choice word.
I was bound to guard this place after swearing that I would to that hag.
I see. Well,
Uh,
if you
have you got people in here recently?
I've been here for a couple hundred years. I don't know what recent is.
Last 10 years. Has it been slower than usual?
I guess maybe. That one guy in the mask showed up looking for a book, but said it wasn't here and then left.
What was he looking for?
Guy in a
I
mask?
don't know. He said he was looking for a specific book, asked if he could look around. Said he was from the academy. I said sure. Looked around for a couple days, said it was not here, thanked me, and then left.
I see.
Guy in the mask. That sounds familiar. Was that disorder?
Disorder had a mask, but I believe there were many others as well.
Well, yeah. So about 10 years ago, the whole guild, the academy, pretty much everything just was taken over, and a lot of people are dead.
Serves them right.
For what?
Everything they've done over the years.
You were a human, weren't you?
I was not.
Oh,
You sound a little bitter. Were you tricked into being here?
I was.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I have spent far too long in the library myself once. I had the fortune to leave and seek adventure. I hope you can one day escape this place yourself.
Can you give it over to somebody?
I could, yes. If they are willing to trade places with me and have their soul be here for all eternity until they find another to take their place.
Okay, I mean not today, but maybe you. I mean, for you, since you said what is time anyways, and I say what is time anyways.
Perhaps in a few centuries, the two of us could swap out here and there.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, we felt like we could actually tag team.
We could get to every library in time.
Yeah, no, I was also thinking, you said I mean, part of you wants to stay in the library, but part of you is sick of staying in the library. So you could be librarian for 100 years, and then I could come back, and then I could be librarian for 100 years, and then you could come back, and we could take turns adventuring and librarianing.
I would be happy to do this, although we would never be adventuring alongside each other. That would be a shame.
Well, also we'd have to plant a tree in here like the other one.
Indeed.
Anyways, let's go look at books.
Yes. Which, by the way, Captain, if you have any blank ones, I would be glad to record my story to add to this library, if you're interested.
Do you have a Cliff Notes version I can read?
Do you care when you have so much time?
My library is the smallest of all of the lost libraries. I only have so much space.
Have you read everything in here?
I'm on my 14th read through of the library.
Oh,
Dude, that would be
God.
wow.
crazy. That would be like a living hell at that point. Stop being fun.
I'd probably just end up
Well,
staring at the wall for a couple centuries.
Yeah, right.
He points out to the coastline. He's like, I remember when that lighthouse was 8 feet farther away from the coast.
It's very specific.
erosion from the waves, I assume.
8 feet worth.
Yeah, that's insane. That's like centuries.
What are you doing, buddy?
He's like, if there's something specific you were looking for, just let me know. I probably know which book it's in.
But I was looking for something somewhat specific. I was looking for copies of the entire book of the Scabrous Syllabus of Tammuz.
What is that? That's me asking.
That's
Oh, it was you gave me a conjuration book that happened to have let me look. It had all of the conjuration spells alphabetically before DI or after MA.
Aw.
So
yeah,
or after DI and before MA. So I'm looking for the rest of them.
and I got one that was the same name, but it was blood magic and necromancy. So I'm not sure if it was like a they're both part of the same like volumes of books, or if that's like a accidental copy and paste name.
It's
When
off
we were
of
in
the
the library.
table. He's like, I don't have the complete one here. None of the libraries do, as far as I know. The point of them was to split them up.
I was hoping you might have one that I don't have.
Well, if I do, you couldn't take it out of my library, so
Oh, you don't part with yours?
I do not.
I can respect that.
What if, I mean, do you have any chores you need taken care of? Like the last one had like a bunch of a bunch of stuff that kind of just needed some maintenance in the library in a way.
Raceland, he has A through D. He is the first part.
Oh yeah. Rayson would want to go look at that. Am I allowed to make copies, or are
You
we
are
not
allowed to transcribe whatever you want, but you are not allowed to take the original.
Okay, yeah, I would spend my whole time transcribing whatever I could transcribe. It's
Okay.
too bad I'm not order of the scribe. I'm not order of anything right now. Well, I would specifically go after first level, and if I had time to write down second level spells, knowing where my skill is at this point.
We'll see how long you guys decide to stay here.
Yeah.
Gwen, he tells you, he's like, not really. Like I said, my library's much smaller than the others.
Just before we start going off, does time here move the same as it does outside?
As far as I know.
Okay, okay. Can you move your library? Like the other library was like the door would show up in different places. Does this door show up in different places ever?
He tells you yes and no. So my view is always the same, but once you step out of here, you will appear on a coastline somewhere. I do not know which one.
There's no way to like target that.
Most people return from where they entered.
Okay, well, that's not going to be an option. So maybe if we think really hard about the coast nearest Mara when we open it, just like, especially you, Raceland, you should open it because you know, like, I mean, I know Mara's not on the coast, but there's a coast not too far, right?
Rayson
Right.
looks up and goes, huh? And goes back to writing in his book.
He also points and says it's not really a door, you just kind of walk through.
Okay. Still, I think we should focus on where we want to go and all hold hands so we don't wind up in different places. Trust me, I know about portal things.
Well, take your time. You are welcome to stay, and you are welcome to come and go as you please.
Can we come back to this library? Like, how hidden is this one?
You can come back to. Can you not come back to the other libraries you've been to?
Well, I mean, we haven't really tried, but somebody told us that if we thought about it, we couldn't go to it.
Ah. How did you guys find this one? Did you not enter through a painting of this exact lighthouse on a full moon?
No. No, we did
When
not.
the moonlight hits it?
No, we did not.
Oh. Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's how you get here normally.
Okay, Saltak, how good of an artist are you?
Me, not quite so much, but Glove and Beauty are quite a good pair.
Okay, because like you have the best memory to like draw this lighthouse, and we could like make a painting of it and stick it under the moon.
Of course. And he summons his Pact of the Tome book and copies down a picture of the lighthouse with Glove, and then blinks out the book.
Yeah. I mean, we can make like a painting of it later, like artistically, but just to remind, because you have the like I can remember everything.
Ah, yes, of course. But for now, he will just go ahead and start reading the books around him.
All right. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Any kind of other types of forgotten magic, not necessarily having to be like the death magic or the blood magic that he figured out, but just any kind of types of magic that are either forbidden or forgotten.
Okay. We'll come back to that and see if we find anything. Gwen, is there anything specific you're looking for?
Not anything specific. She's always just looking for like lore, um, myths, stories, things that she couldn't learn elsewhere. Trying to think if there's anything like, yeah, she's just like looking around and like picking up random books and flipping through them and seeing what interests her.
Okay. All right. And Ollie, anything specific you're doing in here?
Ollie would be looking for A couple things. He would be looking for because inspired by Sigil a bit, like books on ancient magics or ancient crafting or like basically anything ancient that harkens to more advanced magics or technologies that have been lost through time. That'd be kind of like the first thing he'd be focused on. After that, maybe trying to find out more research on how to defeat the evils that were released from the mirror. If there's anything that he would, at a glance, looking for that might identify lore on them.
Okay. And Boudica, what are you looking for?
Books on how to be a better pickpocket.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say be a better person, but then
That
it
too.
was be a better
Self-help books. That's
pickpocket.
what I
Yeah,
need.
just the self-help books in the ancient library.
Do you got any?
He he does have one that he thinks will work for you.
Self-help book or a thieving book?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's called Help Yourself to Their Stuff.
Yes.
Ali, you find a book on Furbolg engineering prior to the Fae transition.
Interesting. Is this more for advanced technology, advanced magic, or the lore against the evils?
It's more technology based. You're kind of just fascinated because it's telling you different things on how they did things.
Okay. Awesome. And that was the Furbolgs before they went to the Fey realm or after they went to the Fey realm?
Pre-Fae realm.
Pre-Fey realm. Okay.
And Gwen, you find an interesting book on mushrooms. And Saltek, you find a book on magic of some sort.
Gotcha.
Hang on, I'm pulling up my list. That makes sense. You find a book on ring magic. Magic that dwelled within rings and how to bring that out.
Sweet.
But as you guys are sitting there settling in, you hear a magical ding as the portal opens and someone else enters. But we'll find out who that is next week. So I think we're at a good stopping point.
Awesome.
Fantastic session.
Yes.
Sounds
So-
good.
So,
All right.
Awesome.
Well, yes. So good job, guys, and we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for the fun time.
Bye.
Yep. All right. Night, everybody.